Hi there, this is Scott.
And this is James.
And we're from Finger 11, and we are about to make our Toronto Mic'd debut.
What up, Mike?
That was perfect.
Nice.
Only real pros can nail that in one shot. Welcome to episode 1792 of Toronto Mic'd, proudly brought to you by retrofestive.ca, Canada's pop culture and Christmas store, Great Lakes Brewery. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Blue Sky Agency. Ask Doug Mills about how Silent delivers the space to focus, collaborate, and recharge. Nick Ines. He's the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success, two podcasts you ought to listen to. Kindling. Go to shopkindling.ca for free 1-hour cannabis delivery. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Today, making their Toronto Mic'd debut is lead vocalist Scott Anderson and guitarist James Black from Finger 11. Welcome, guys.
Thanks so much.
Hey.
So, Scott, you were the Great Lakes Brewery fan. You saw my hoodie, the Octopus Wants to Fight, and you said you're a Great Lakes Brewery fan.
I am a big fan. I like Octopus Wants to Fight probably the most. They have one called, I think it's called Haze Mama.
Absolutely. I can only down one of those at a time.
I was just going to say, it gets me into so much trouble, but I do love it. Everything else tastes boring after that, so it's a problem.
Well, I'm sending you home. I'm sending you back to Burlington with some fresh craft beer from GLB.
Thank you so much. I will put it to great use.
And on that cue, I want James and I are going to enjoy a can right now. So, James, right on the mic, if you will. I'll count you in here. Hold on. All right. 3, 2.
There you go.
All right. Cheers to you, gentlemen. What an honor. What a privilege to have Finger 11 in the basement. This is awesome. Thanks for doing this.
It's good to be here.
Man.
I know you didn't just come here for the beer. So
I was going to say I just came here for the beer.
I have a bad habit sometimes when I have bands like yourself on. I sort of start in the early days and I never leave them. Like, this is a terrible habit I'm trying to shake. So what do you think about off the top? We talk about the new album, the new music, and then if you will indulge me, we'll go back and, the early days and sort of talk about some of the big moments. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start with a bit of this right here.
Unexplored, so come on, climb on board for one rush of blood after another. But to get there from here, to make it anywhere, when it's all for one from now on forever. So don't let go when we roll. I got your back if it gets rough, and we won't grow old. And now a lesson known occasion is where we're jumping from. Adrenaline, get your kicks and run. Never gonna feel like this again, are we? Still we gotta keep chasing what we got now. Adrenaline, get your kicks and run.
All right, now my heart's pumping. Now I'm ready to go here. Adrenaline, this is the first single from Last Night on Earth. tell me a bit off the top here. Tell me about the new album, how it came together, and specifically Adrenaline.
Well, we've been working on this album for quite a while. But, you know, we finally lit a fire under our asses and got it all done. But,
What's quite a while?
like, you're going to make me say it. 10 years. It's been 10 years since, at least 10 years since our last, you know, full record. And, you know, we can account for a lot of the time, maybe not all of the time. But, you know, it's, we would just write these ideas and leave them for a minute and then break them open and rewrite them and do that over and over again until everybody was really, really happy, you know. And I think Adrenaline is a great, a really good, it's an important part of this record only because it's it's maybe some of the heaviest Finger Eleven's ever sounded, but it's also got like a nice, like an uplifting spirit to it, which is, that's the only thing I was trying to actively get at, right? It wasn't going to be doom and gloom. And I was like, okay, well, how do we stay heavy and then just kind of have some like fun with that, you know, in a more rock and roll way, not in like a downer, you know, however you want to, like,
right,
angsty kind of. I did want to avoid that, and I did that as much as I could. But yeah,
But 10 years.
I know.
This,
I know. 10
this
years.
song was finished last summer, so it was sort of the lead-off track. So it was sort of the flagship of like, okay, this we finished this song, and then we convinced everyone involved that, like, yeah, the record's coming. This is the first one, and then we kind of like, okay, then we had to light the fire and be like, okay, we have to finish 10 more of these.
Well, this is your 8th studio album, but 10 years, man. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
10 years ago. That's sort of like going back to when the Jays were last in the ALCS, and then you were waiting for the Jays to be back
That's right.
in the ALCS.
Yeah.
Wow, now you got to spoil the plan. But yeah.
So, okay, well, just don't do that with the Leafs. We'll never hear another new song by Finger 11. Oh, by the way, okay, so I said Leafs. So it's funny because I go on Blue Sky and I say, if anyone has a question for Finger 11, and I got a few questions, of course. But Kevin in Alberta says, and it's funny, this memory, he goes, were you guys disappointed when the Leafs signed Jeff Finger and Jeff Finger did not wear number 11?
Oh, that would have looked great.
I was not aware, but I am so disappointed right now.
Yeah, retroactively.
Not a great
disappointed.
signing, though. Like, this guy, I remember the signing. This was
Was he no good?
Cliff Fletcher made this signing, and he was like a bench player for Colorado, and we gave him big bucks to come here and be a big D, and I think it was a flop. So,
Oh, well, then
but
worked out.
it would have been cool if Finger had 11.
Oh, that would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. I'm
Okay.
sad to have missed that opportunity.
Well, you triggered it with Leafs. So at the end of this chat, I got another new jam I'm going to play from last night on Earth. But I do wonder, and again, I'm going to be very frank with you. I got a good vibe from you guys already. But like, there is a tendency for some bands that were like, some big alt-rock bands will sort of rest on their laurels. Like, you don't actually need new material to tour and your fans to come out, right? They kind of want to hear... They want to hear the catalog of hits, and then you don't have a big pressure, I would guess, to put out new material. Is that why you got a little lackadaisical for a decade?
I think so. I think, yeah, there's, you know, when a band's been around for a while, I don't know if you can get as excited, you know, for the new project. I mean, as a music fan, that's where I'm coming from, right? Now, on the other side of it, it's like, okay, if we put anything out, you know, we're aware of that, and it's got to be good, and especially if you take your time, as long as we did. So I guess the agenda still doesn't even change. Like, we're still a bunch of dudes that want to make the best noise they can together. Like, it's you know, of course, it's very personal for us, and we can still do it. So I don't know. This is the thing that kind of keeps us fairly young, I would say.
But the spark still has to be there. And so when you've been in a relationship for so long, you need, I don't know, more magic ingredients for it to really work. And so it takes longer. And so that's kind of what it is like, we can make a lot of songs very fast, but to make them like have that magic like it always does, that's the part that takes a long time.
Well, that song Adrenaline, like just listening to it in the cans here, that'll fit in perfectly with your live set. Like that's
It goes over really well. It's actually one of the stronger tracks live.
Right. so it's nice to put that in and have the confidence that the song, we know that most people don't know it yet, but you do, like, there's a reaction, and when you're playing a new song, that's pretty important, and it's feels good if they react to something they've never even heard of.
We've played enough new songs and got not a great reaction to know.
Like, up there on the stage, right? You can get the vibes back from when they're checking their Instagram feed
for sure.
or something.
Yes. Yeah, long lines to the washroom, some new songs.
The guys selling the beer like it, though, when you put in
they love it.
The odd. So I want to tell the listenership off the top, because then it's funny, I was thinking to myself, my glasses are dirty. These are my $1.35 Dollarama readers, okay? That's what they cost me, $1.35. But I don't really clean them because I don't know much about like being a glasses guy. They just sit here. And then Rob Pruce from Spoons, and from Burlington, by the way, but we'll get to that.
Nice.
So Pruce will come by once a month and he'll like clean them for me. And I was just thinking, when's Pruce here next to clean my glasses? But my first question is going to come from Rob Pruce. But I want to know quickly, firstly, two things. One is, tell the listenership that you guys are playing Toronto on December 5th. The theater at Great Canadian Toronto. Now, this is, what venue is this? Where is this venue?
It's a casino.
It's a
right?
casino.
I think it's in Etobicoke. But it says Toronto on the poster.
Okay, well, Etobicoke's Toronto.
Okay, well, there you go. Because I was sort of like seeing the list of dates and then seeing the poster. It was like, it doesn't say Toronto.
Okay, Etobicoke, absolutely. The mega city since
casino.
98. Okay, but there's no, so is it near the racetrack? Woodbine? Okay, I'm getting it. Paul, by the way, there's another gentleman in the room who's the fact checker. He's going to be Googling everything. So it's near the Woodbine racetrack. Okay, very cool. So December 5th, people, it's a Friday night. You can check out Finger 11 here in Toronto. That's like 1 month today. That's very cool. So do you mind if we just go back and then we'll come back to Last Night on Earth? You guys proud of Last Night on Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a, it's not the, it's the softer song on the record. I don't know. I'm not happy with ballad. I'm not happy with soft song. It's maybe the most emotional song on the record.
Oh, this one right here then.
That's right.
Yes.
All right, well, let's do it now. I was going to save it for the end, but...
All good things, they don't stay in place. But forever in my head's a picture of your face. Before you're just a memory set in my mind. Can all good things remain and last for one more night? But I can't make you stay, even though you've been waiting for changes I said I'd make for too long. One last thing before you go, I'll never change for you, but nothing's right when all you say is nothing's wrong. Nothing's right when all you say is nothing's wrong.
Absolutely. This is a sweeter tone, not quite adrenaline here.
Yeah.
Right. But in the Finger 11 land, it's just as important, right? This side, there's always been, this element to any Finger 11 record.
Well, I'm going to play it later, as you can imagine, but this is that One Thing vibe.
Right.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's where it sounds like the One Thing band, whereas Adrenaline sounds like the First Time band or something.
Scott, I'm going to throw you're not going to remember this because you're a rock star, okay? But when One Thing first was released as a single, I was with my buddy Mark Carey. Hello to Mark Carey. We had a website called Smells Like Sour, where we would basically, it was a forum where people could discuss new songs and stuff. And we were discussing One Thing. And you chimed in the comments to give us some, to answer some of our questions and give us some perspective and context regarding your big hit One Thing. That was early days for me, just realizing, you can have a direct connect with artists,
cool.
And I thought that was pretty cool of you.
Oh, that's great.
That's going way back. So you will remember you chiming in on the forum, the now defunct forum Smells Like Sour, but that happened, man.
Oh, that's
was
cool.
That positively received on the show? Is it
so we were inspired by Big Shiny Tunes to start our own version. We called Smells Like Sour. So every 6 months, Mark and I would put together like on the down low, if you will, in the black market here. We would put together like a mixed CD of the big new rock jams we were digging from the previous 6 months, and then we would discuss it in public on this forum that we had, smellslikessour.com or whatever. And I don't know, Scott, if one night you're in Burlington Googling one thing, Finger 11, I have no idea, but you ended up in the forum and you contributed.
Oh, well, that's great. It's a hard one to talk about because it's the song is so open to interpretation. I mean, to the point where people will talk to me about the song and they'll have a much better story attached to it or an emotional moment in their lives, which of course music can do it. That's kind of it's a great magic trick, right?
That's art, right?
Sure. And it's so nice because I know how that feels, but somebody gets to feel that way about something I've done. I love it.
Well, I'm going to pester you for more one thing thoughts later, but I got to go back. I mentioned Rob Pruce. So Rob Pruce was in a band called The Spoons with some guy named Derek Ross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Rob heard you guys were coming on, and he goes, Derek Ross from The Spoons might have signed them 1,000 years ago when they were the Rainbow Butt Monkeys.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any memory of what can you remember from this early days with Derek Ross?
Okay.
A long time ago.
We were in the
a long time
band.
ago.
I was the singer for that.
And
band.
I know the name Derek Ross, but I'm not sure if it was a direct connection to our signings or anything. The names that come to mind, like Brian Potvin from the Northern Pikes. He was like a big, major part of us getting signed as the Butt Monkeys, and I don't know that. I know that the Spoons are from Burlington, so that's sort of like the biggest part of the trivia that I'm aware of. And we met. It might have been Derek. We met one of them at a industry party, and they congratulated us as being now the new biggest band from Burlington, kind of thing, taking their mantle, kind of.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I was going to ask you, who is the greatest band from Burlington?
Now I'm not sure. I don't know.
And why is it Silverstein? Just kidding.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Well, there's big three. Right. Like from a commercial perspective, there is we would refer to the big three Burlington bands as you guys, Finger 11, The Spoons, and Silverstein.
Yeah. Well, when we started, it was like a boom of bands, and so there was a band called Gleet that was like forever the best band. They were sort of this unattainable, trippy, and their singer was just the kind of rock star everybody wanted to be, and he was like a local guy in Burlington. He was sort of defying the suburban way and being this sort of like Perry Farrell type character. Cool. And so in my mind, they were always like at the top of the heap.
Well, yeah, at that point there were so many. We would play these afternoon gigs, and there was maybe 7 or 8 bands on the bill, and one would be a folk band, one would be a thrash band.
Oh yeah.
And then us, whatever we were.
Maybe you were Stone Soul Picnic.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Now we're
talking.
talking.
You did some homework here.
So that was I think that was the one-off name for like a high school opportunity. We got to play to like an assembly. I don't know if I was drumming or singing at that point.
Yeah, we at some point had a different name for every show for a little bit until the Rainbow Butt Monkeys
settled on the masterful Rainbow Butt Monkeys.
Well, let me ask you for the record, where did that name come from, Rainbow Butt Monkeys?
It was like a friend of mine at school. His name's Ryan Ness. I'm not sure if he's a listener. But he was talking about a monkey that, like, the mandrill ape's got like a purple buttocks pads and a rainbow on his face. And he mistakenly said that the buttocks was rainbow, and he said, "Oh, Rainbow Butt Monkeys," and I wrote it on my binder. I was like, "That's hilarious," and I think it sort of rung like Red Hot Chili Peppers or something like that, like a silly name. They were like, "Okay, that might be perfect."
But I still remember getting the phone call after school. You phoned me and it said, "Dude, I now I have the name for the band. It is Rainbow Butt Monkeys," and I laughed real hard, and that was that.
And no objections from anyone else in the band.
Oh, how could you have come on. How could you?
It was perfect. All right, so another great question came in, but I'm playing in the background now the first Rainbow Butt Monkeys song I heard.
Yeah,
this song is so long. Oh my!
Yeah,
if we were to do it again, I think it would be about a 2-minute song. this just goes. This has got about 3 or 4 solos in it.
But
right?
it definitely opened all the doors for us. You know, we got to make a video and we got a record deal, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, it did feel real, I guess, at this point.
Well, I mean, idiots like me were tuned into what's going on in Burlington with these rainbow butt monkeys because of the song.
You know what's fun? You know what's really fun about this record? I think it was the first like dozen ideas we had come up with, right? And it's just like, it's so raw. Like you can sort of hear the garage-ness. You know, like we did try our best to make it a full studio record, but it's like there's something nice, and you know, you can't really redo your first record. It's like it's got this sort of it's got a neat energy to it that I think took Finger 11 a while to come back to.
Yeah.
Would you agree, Jay?
I think so, yeah.
Like we overthink things nowadays and are trying to do less of that. But there's a fun spirit here.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to play a little bit of it. Just here's the guitar solo.
A little goes a long way.
It is a long one for sure.
Well, no, this is probably the best part, right, guys?
I don't want to. You're right. It's a.
And I can remember too, like, you know, this is the first time in the studio trying to rip a guitar solo. It's like, I don't know. This sounds like.
I have a feeling that we were probably pretty insufferable to work with in the studio.
Well, hold that thought, because there's another band I'm going to ask you about. But just turn it up for a few seconds here. For what it's worth, I still dig Circles.
It's nice, yeah. I mean, it's got that like Mama Said vibe, and like a Chili Peppers kind of wannabe.
Definitely
thing.
a Chili Peppers vibe. I just talked to a guy, Sonny Greenwich Jr. Like, he was just on the show. Sonny was with Boot Sauce.
Boot Sauce, yeah.
Awesome.
No way, yeah.
Yeah, we did a tour all across Canada.
I think our first cross Canada tour was and we went out with them.
Maybe one of the first big bands we'd ever met, and I couldn't believe how like nice and gracious they were.
Okay, this is where I'm going. Yeah. There's been mixed reviews from musicians, regarding Boot Sauce. I actually did the Sonny Greenwich Jr. episode because I needed to talk to somebody in the band, and he's sort of the most accessible spokesperson for that now defunct band. But a lot of people, I mean, we hear stories of Art Bergman wasn't allowed on the tour bus. Okay, these are stories that are circulating. Ron Hawkins from Lowest of the Low wrote a song about seeing Art like hitchhiking on the side of a highway out in the prairies. Life imitates art. But you guys are telling me now that it was a delight to play with the boys from Boot Sauce.
Yeah.
I remember there was some compliments where it was like, "Oh, you guys are killing it." Like just saying some things that you don't have to say to the opening band. Right, I remember that. I just, we were really, really young. Our first tour across Canada, and I think when you're an established band, I don't know if your first thought is to go talk to the opening band and reassure them that everything's cool. You've got other things to think about. There's a million other things you want to do, but it's that kind of kindness you don't forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think because this came up in my conversation with Sonny, and I think they learned that from the Tragically Hip. Like he would talk about how the Hip would treat the bands. Like they would bring you a case of beer and welcome you. And I think they learned that this is sort of the Canadian rock way.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they were super nice to us. I always remember Drew Ling when he would introduce himself on stage and he'd be like, "I'm Drew Ling, all over you."
Yeah, showbiz. That's showbiz, bro.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
Speaking of showbiz, got to cook with some gas. I really could talk to you guys forever. But East York John would like me to ask you about your experience with 97.7 Hits FM.
Okay.
He says it was a great station with great personalities, and they did so much to promote local talent. Of course, they're out of St. Catharines. But what can you tell me about the role of 97.7 Hits FM?
We just came from there.
Yeah. We got a long history with 97.7, and our story, outside of the garage, began with winning their music search. I can't remember when.
I don't know.
1990.
Is it 90?
But Circles, that was the song.
So. That was a submission. We
submitted Circles for the rock search, and then you had to listen every evening at a certain time to see they were going to play each of the bands who qualified for it.
Yeah.
And so we, crowded around the radio and heard our song on the radio for the first time, 97.7.
Still a magical idea.
Well, okay, it was not 1990, so I'm going to fact check myself. So
94?
Robert Lawson, calm down. It was later, much later. I don't know what
94,
year, but
97.
you win the Rock Search competition. I know Paulie Morris, the man who built the White House of Rock over there.
Oh yeah.
Big booster of you guys. And another band that actually I'm going to just promote my own show. Next week making their debut is the Trues.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another band that hits 97.7 really boosted.
Yeah.
Yeah. What that night when we won that, and we were young too, like we were still in high school, and it was like a surreal thing. Like these were like grown up men, it seemed like, that had bands, and we were these kids that were there like competing, thinking there's no way we could win this.
Well, these were bands, they had posters that we would see on the way to the record store. It's like, wow, they're established. Like they're playing, and we're just some dudes that this is the first song we came up with.
Did Circle sound like it's, because this is a re-recording, right?
That's pretty close.
That's on the CD, like the original Rainbow Butt Monkey CD. We had a demo. The tempo was probably lower, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Why do you change your name from Rainbow Butt Monkeys to Finger 11?
Okay, well, we got to set the record straight.
Has anyone ever asked you that before?
Well, right. So the thing is, we're the Butt Monkeys. We're in high school, and we put out a record, and then we go to write more songs, and all of a sudden, like, there's a change musically, like headspace, whatever. Different music this is from the perspective of the band. Just try to put yourselves there, but we're hearing this music that's coming out, and we're saying this doesn't sound like Butt Monkey stuff anymore. We need to acknowledge that this is different. This is and we're taking it very, very seriously. And so we announced this to the record label, and they're like, okay. They're really, really not into the idea of it. Like, they've invested a lot of time and energy into this project. And we're like, well, it doesn't matter, because we're Finger 11 now. That's who we're going to be. And I think that's where it, I think we might have, if we lost a lot of credibility, but none of it mattered, because we took this music so seriously. We were on our way to make this the first record Tip, and we were like, this is unstoppable, and it's different. It's very important to us to, draw this line in the sand, because it is, it's a different entity, even though it's all the same guys. It was so important. And so they said, okay, that's fine.
It's like a rebranding, because your style of play was changing.
But right. But that's the truth. But most people just say, oh, well, the label made you change. That's it.
But they were resistant.
I'll tell you this story. I will talk at you, and I'll tell you this whole story.
No, talk at me, man.
But and people will just go, well, no, the label probably made you do it. It's like, that's not. I know what you mean, but that's not what happened. We were a giant pain in the ass, because we decided we were a different thing. They put out the record, and we got dropped like a week after.
Yeah, it was
Finger 11 was not to be.
But the name Finger 11, it meant like going your own way kind of thing, and it sort of even signified that, like, they don't want us to do this, but we do, so we're doing
Finger
it.
11, clearly that's a cock reference.
Well, that was immediately how it was received. It was like we went from Butt Monkeys to a penis.
Rock and roll, man. It's that's the other thing. You can't convince people that it's not your dick.
Well, convince me, because I've always, until right now, I just assume so.
Well, the idea was, you were the Finger 11. There was a lyric in a song where it was talking about Finger 11 pointing the other way, meaning you're just going to go in your own direction. It doesn't matter. Despite the consequences, you're just going to have conviction in your own deal. And
like you're pointing with all 10 fingers this way, but somewhere in your head saying, like, you really should go this way.
Look, let's not get into the idea that nobody points with all 10 fingers. That's stupid.
We're going that way.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it.
Don't worry about it. But
don't overthink it.
It was like a made for TV movie moment. I'm singing this lyric where, Finger 11 points the other way, and we're looking at that time for the name of the band. And, we stopped the tape, and the guys were like, what's that lyric? What are you talking about? And I was like, oh yeah, Finger 11. And so I think we broke for lunch.
Casually.
Yeah, Finger 11. And I think we came up, like, we were drawing logos on the napkins, waiting for lunch. And so that it was so clear, we didn't have to talk about it for much longer. That was just that we were Finger 11 from that day forward.
And we're similar vintage here, but I owned Frozen Ghost on CD.
Okay.
All right.
I loved Frozen Ghost, late 80s, I guess.
Yeah.
And then even I was aware that, oh my God, a Canadian band is #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Like, who is Sheriff? Like, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like, being produced by Arnold Lanni?
Arnold Lanni is Arnold Lanni is a musical genius. Like, he's very, very, I don't know. I've never met anybody like Arnold Lanni.
He was responsible for Our Lady Peace, Navid, and that just kind of floored us. So as like, wow, this is Canadian. Yeah. This sounds like this sort of transcends anything local. And then, so when we finally worked with him, he's very unique in like, he's a musical genius and sort of just a strange guy to work with. And so we learned everything about writing songs and recording with him. Like, we had made the Butt Monkeys record, but that was a very passive experience compared to working with Arnold and really digging in and challenging this. It's probably why we took 10 years to make this record. We learned this, don't stop challenging the idea until it gets all the way there.
Yeah. And I mean, for the first record, I don't think we're up to the task of what Arnold was asking us. Like, we really had to learn. We had this is our first big studio experience, but it was great. I had a hard time. I think you can hear it in the vocals of those records where it was like, I'm not having fun. I'm trying to get out what my voice is capable of. I'm not sure what it's capable of. I'm trying to say this thing, that thing, and it's, somebody's telling me to extend it or cut it, or it's tricky. Like, you can't be so like, I don't want to say stiff because that's not good. We're talking about the band's called
Finger 11 stiff. I'm cluing in over here.
It's too much. But you got to try it. You got to try new ideas, and you got to figure out where the song's supposed to go. I mean, I know that now, but
the
20-year-old
music
me
was a moving target working with Arnold. It was like you'd always think that you were nailing it, and then you'd find no, let's try this, let's try that.
Right, and then that's how cool stuff gets made. But it's like I was maybe too. Can I say rigid? Same problem.
Well,
turgid.
Canada does have a band called Swollen Members.
Yes, they do.
That's right. That's right.
I presented their Juno to them.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Finger 11 to Swollen
he
Members.
He does not remember me. Cruise right. I don't even think he shook my hand. Yeah, too bad. But
that's funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, I got Mitchin to play a song from this album because I literally, there's a WhatsApp group full of listeners, and I dropped the YouTube link in the group, I think last week, and I just said, this song still fucking slays. Like, it holds up. I love this so much today in 2025. So let me play it, and we'll try to listen to hear if Scott's having a good time. Okay, that's what I'm listening for. Here we go. It down, but I think I promised an hour, so it's coming down. But Scott, you sound like you're having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty tense to me. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds
I think it sounds great.
It's compared to like we play it every night and it's so bouncy and like
Yeah.
it's very like, it sounds like we're trying to play it in tune and
Yeah.
play it right. There's
Yeah,
something about
it sounds a little careful. Like
yeah, it's interesting to hear.
Restrained, maybe?
Yeah,
just like there was a lot of caution with Arnold was obsessed about guitar tuning, and so we would just track, like the Butt Monkeys record was just like plug it in and play it, and so this record you'd play it and sort of timidly look over to get the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and eventually it started to feel like, shit, can we ever play the song all the way through in tune? And so it got kind of cautious, and I didn't remember that until just hearing it back.
It's funny. My first instinct is, I just want to re-sing this. Can we retrack? Can we take the afternoon?
Well, you know you can do that.
Because we
yeah, I suppose. But I think the problem
Taylor's
is
version.
right.
yeah.
What a marketing idea. Let's do it. But I think I'd probably end up with the same fucking, it might sound a little bit different. It's good. Like, see, I'm able to hit like the hard stuff. This probably took many days in the studio.
This was like, but the fact that the chorus of the song is quiet and the rest of it is loud was like opposite of what we thought songs were supposed to be, and that was something that Arnold was really good at, was like subverting the ideas of like, oh, the song could go opposite. But yeah, I can hear it's funny because we play these songs all the time, but I don't listen to the recordings.
Right. You haven't spun Tip in a while. Tip,
No.
too. That's a cock reference, too.
Dude.
Yeah, there
I
you
mean,
go.
it's so Spinal Tap. It's not funny. Like, it's just, yep, you're right.
Wow. Okay, shout out to FOTM band Head with 2 H's. Okay. So, in these Teenage Head, Gene Champagne gifted me these drumsticks.
Oh, nice.
So if you want me to do Jeremy Taggart on Navid, let me know. I can do a pretty good damn version. But wait, you referenced this earlier, but like this Mercury drops you guys after this album comes out?
Yeah, very, very quickly. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks after the album's release.
And it was after a meeting, like a lunch meeting, where like the guy started the meeting with like, look, you guys are not getting dropped.
Again, a
just-
great lunch got reassured. Listen, a lot of moving parts right now, but rest assured, you guys are not getting dropped. I wish we recorded it, honestly. I mean, we'll never forget. But
The days before we all had a recording device in our pocket.
right. And I mean, I don't know what I'd be doing recording lunch, but
And then not long after, that was
boom, done. And I remember not caring because I was so into this record. It was like, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
We'll figure it out, because that's how strong I felt.
So I think at the time we were out a drummer. Like Rob had quit the band, so we were sort of.
Oh yeah, Finger Eleven was supposed to be done at that point.
Yeah, we were like, okay, we're not even a whole band, and then we lost our record deal. But yeah, there was never the moment of like, oh well, of course we're gonna keep going.
On paper, like from the outside looking in, it's like, what are these guys doing? It's clearly over. They got the deal. They changed. They lost the deal. The drummer decided it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
But on the inside, we're like, yeah, no problem. This is a speed bump. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And you re-released the album.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's wild here. So Wind Up Records to the rescue.
Label out of New York. The first signing for them was Creed, right? So they took over the Planet very quickly, and then they signed us, and they thought we were going to be just as big as Creed. And they really, they treated their bands like kids. They had
In a good way.
In a great way. Like they were so attached to the point where I think we had 3 records out without any hit whatsoever. And they're like, yeah, great, good. It took a long time. It took 3 records to actually have a hit.
So Above wasn't a hit?
Well, I don't know if it was
I
a
think
hit
in
America.
Canada we did better than in the States with with Tip and Grace of Blue Skies.
So, because again, I am a Toronto guy, born and raised here, so sometimes I'm surprised to find out like a song I thought was a big hit in the States. They're like, what was this, right? But I gotta say, like here, anyways, maybe it's because all my stuff was Much Music and CFNY.
Yeah, Much Music was a big part of it. Yeah.
Like Above, I just assumed I just assumed Above would crack the top 100 Billboard Hot 100, but you're telling me it was big in Canada.
Yeah. I don't even know where it got to in there. billboard.
All right, fascinating to me. Now, it's also interesting you mentioned Creed. I saw Creed headline an Edgefest once at Molson Park in Barrie.
Whoa.
Okay.
But I
The
think,
headline.
were you guys on that bill? I know you guys played Edgefest.
I don't think we're on
Not
the Creed
that,
year.
no.
Do you remember who was your headliner? I'm just curious. I went to a bunch in a row.
There were, yeah, we did a bunch too.
I think. Well, the Pearl. No. Okay. So we.
there was
Tool
one.
was
Tool
one.
was one of them.
Yep.
Maybe I'm getting
Green Day, maybe, or Foo
Somersault mixed
Fighters,
up.
or
Foo Fighters. I
Foo
think.
Fighters. We
I
we
feel like
did.
Green Day and Foo Fighters might have played, but I don't know if that was the right one. But
Oh,
Alice in Chains was that one?
we were on the side stage for one with. There was a tour called Somersault that kind of like
Our Lady Peace.
Yeah.
almost replaced all the Edgefest memories because it was Perfect Circle, Foo Fighters, Smashing Pumpkins,
I saw it. That was 2000.
and it was like
that was the farewell tour for the Pumpkins.
yeah.
And it was billed as the farewell tour. And I remember being thoroughly disappointed by the Smashing Pumpkins that night. I was there. That was a
Yeah.
damn good show. 2000 at Molson Park.
Oh, that bill was like at the time, holy! We couldn't believe we were touring
Foo
across the
Fighters, of
country
course.
with all
Our Lady
those.
Peace is there, of course. It's
Yeah.
their tour.
I
And
think Catherine Wheel was there.
right?
Awesome. Great band.
It was stacked. So to be in that lineup was like, oh my gosh, this is super cool.
And you're off to the races. So obviously, for keeping my eye on the watch over here, we got a couple of big fucking songs to discuss before we get back to the news stuff. But could I take a moment and just give you a couple more gifts because you guys made the trek from Burlington here? And
Please.
I appreciate
Sure.
it. Okay, this is really cool because this is a brand new sponsor, but they're called Retro Festive.
Okay.
Did you guys ever see Christmas Vacation?
Oh yes, of course.
Each of you're going to receive a moose mug. Courtesy of Retro
all right.
Festive.
Nice.
Yeah, like I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Eggnog
So
mug.
you each got a, and you know what, Paul, I can get you one too, man. You want one? Paul's the silent partner in the room.
That's awesome.
Silent partner in the
Really?
room. So thank you to Retro Festive. I'm going to read a quick Google review of Retro Festive. This company has the best gifts. It's a collector's paradise, and there is definitely something for everyone on your list. Francis wrote that, and they're in Oakville, so not too far from you guys. And everyone listening, including you guys, can save 10% when you go to retrofestive.ca and use the coupon code FOTM. So you got your marching orders here. I have a lasagna from Palma Pasta. So it's in my
Whoa.
freezer right now. That's an empty box, but it's in my freezer. So I want to just tell everybody, including you guys, I'm recording live from Palma's Kitchen in Mississauga on November 29 from noon to 3 p.m. Everybody gets to eat for free. I'll bring the fresh GLB.
Whoa.
Retro Festive will give everybody a gift. This is happening again, November 29, noon to 3, Palma's Kitchen. Be there. Brad Jones from Ridley Funeral Home will be there, and I have a measuring tape for you guys. So you see the green? That's
yes.
a measuring tape from Ridley Funeral Home. Recycle my electronics. Here, I'm cooking with gas. I got to get to the big jams here. Cooking with gas. Recyclemyelectronics.ca is where you go if you have old electronics or old devices. You don't throw that in the garbage, guys. You go to recyclemyelectronics.ca, put in your postal code, and find out where you can drop that off to be properly recycled. So we know you guys like your beer. What's your feeling about cannabis consumption?
I'm recently off it, but I'm a believer in it. Sure. I was a sort of wake and bake kind of person for about 20 years, but
You're off it because you enjoyed it too much?
yeah,
That'll do it.
You know, when you smoke and then you smoke again and you wonder why you can't get more high because you're just already high.
You need a break.
And so then I started, it initially was like, smoke a doob and watch a movie and
Yeah.
like, whoa. And then it turned into don't smoke a doob and watch a movie. And it's like, oh. And so I'm on the sort of swing end of it.
You have a system. I think this is clever, on, off, on, off. Okay, for those who are on shopkindling.ca, you get free 1 hour cannabis delivery right to your door. It's discreet and you can follow the where it's at, sort of like an Uber. Where is my cannabis at? So go to shopkindling.ca. Again, you'll get it in your hands in under an hour if you order between 9 a.m. and 11 p.m. That's the deal over there. So welcome aboard Kindling. I want to just let those listeners know if you're responsible for like an office environment, people are being called back to the office. I don't think this affects anyone in this room, but If you need creative, dynamic work environments, you need to talk to Doug Mills at Blue Sky Agency. He's Doug at blueskyagency.ca. That's where you go. Are you guys ready to hear a big fucking hit? You ready for this?
Hey.
There it is.
But not your biggest hit, but more on that in a moment.
Are we at a wedding? We at Shoppers Drug Mart? Where are we?
We're at smellslikessour.com. And the year is what, 2000 and... What is it, 2002? What are we at?
Restless tonight, 'cause I wasted the light. Between both these times, I drew a really thin line. It's nothing I planned, and not that I can, but you should be mine across that line. If I traded it all, if I gave it all away for one thing, and just for one thing, if I sorted it out, if I knew all about this one thing, wouldn't that be something? I promise I might not walk.
I just want to know one thing. How did this song change things for Finger 11? How did this hit single change your trajectory?
This lengthened the tour schedule, and we got to play some. We finally got to go over to Europe and the UK. It opened things up for us for sure.
And some
I think
pop places. We
That's
ended
true.
up some pop festivals and some
crossover.
pop bills and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Right, like it's so funny because you do learn about crossover and like it's like formats and stuff. I remember starting out and like we made a record and people were talking about like singles, and I mean I guess I understood the concept, but I was like wait, we have to choose something to stand. No, just listen to the whole.
Yeah.
What do we?
made a whole
It's so
thing. We
funny.
made a whole-
It's so funny to I forget that sort of state of mind, but yeah, this song got attention from people that maybe weren't like diehard Finger 11 fans. Like it became a big song, and it was this really small idea that James started with
Well, it's funny you were talking about cannabis because this was like the
without.
first
Yeah.
experiment for me of like, okay, I'm going to take some weed up to this cottage, and I just got stoned under a tree and came up with this.
We'll do that more often.
And then
Your accountant wants me
Yeah.
to tell you to do that again.
and just I had recorded it really fast and then gone out. And when I came back, Scott was sitting at the computer singing this over top of it. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Like this was.
But did you know you had a hit? Like,
Well, I knew it was something about it. I didn't. I mean, a hit. No. I'm not
Well,
sure.
it was like the last song on a collection of songs that me and Scott had gone away to work on, and this we just tagged on the end of like, oh, and we came up with this, and the other guys in the band sort of reacted like, whoa, what is this? And that was I probably would have just thought it was like a neat little ditty, because I was thinking, oh, we need big guitars.
well, you're thinking, Extreme's biggest hit is More Than Words.
yeah.
Oh yeah, but we don't even think we're not even smart enough to do that.
Right.
It's just more like, oh, there's something captivating here. We should finish this idea.
It seemed like we weren't the right band to do something like this. It was like, oh, it's neat that we did that at a cottage, but we're a rock band,
Right.
And just everyone who heard the demo was like, man, there's something about this, and it sort of opened up a huge, not only in the opportunities of where we got to play and stuff, but in what we would try musically after that. It was like, oh, we could try acoustic stuff, and like records like Led Zeppelin 3 and stuff that had acoustic was like, oh yeah, what are we doing? We don't have to just be a loud rock band the whole time. So it was big. This was a big one.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm going to just let the listenership know. This song does go to number 16 on Billboard's Hot 100. So that's the big Billboard chart in the USA. Number 16. So you got a top 20 hit with this one. And a whole bunch of TV shows, like in Like this
Yeah.
was used in a bunch of TV shows.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think Scrubs. and,
Scrubs for sure. Smallville. Third Watch.
Maybe Grey's Anatomy, maybe. Even.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't have that on my list. But if you say
shit.
so,
Maybe
if you
not,
say so,
maybe not.
James,
Maybe not.
and you win, and you win.
It should have been.
Have you guys won your fair share of Juno awards?
We won
we
a Juno.
a single Juno, so I guess so.
Yes,
Is that your
that's
fair
our
share?
fair share.
One Juno? Is that where
Yeah.
we're at now?
It was Rock Album of the Year.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Was it for this one?
That was for the
Yeah.
next one. Denver Viewers.
that's right. That's right.
Okay. Okay, the next one. Okay,
And
so
we've been nominated, I think, maybe 5 or 6 times, but we only ever won once.
and you guys got to perform this song on Live with Regis and Kelly
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
We might have actually maybe it was Paralyzer. One might have been Paralyzer, but we played it the same song twice on either The Tonight Show or Regis and Kelly.
It was, I think, Jay Leno. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those rare occasions where they had the same band back to play the same song. But I think that was Paralyzer, not
Well, I'm
One
going to
Day.
play that next, actually. But I'm just
Okay.
going to shout out that Good Times is also on this album, which is a great
Yes.
fucking... So here you are now. Now you Finger 11 is a going concern now. Like now Americans are pumping up the volume.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's nice.
So everything changes.
Yeah,
here.
like this song, that last summer we toured with Creed, and this song, yes, the crowd down in the States definitely knows this
They
one.
bring out the lighters. What's going on?
A little
here?
bit, or the
Yeah.
phone,
that's
but
what they do.
we're at this point we're playing where it's just starting to get a little dark, so that trick doesn't work. We're opening the show, and so
One compare. By the way, how's your Great Lakes beer there, James?
It's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you meaning how is it done?
how's it
or
taste?
or how's it
How
taste?
do they make that? Have you
No,
been to the
it
brewery?
tastes great. It
It's
tastes
not
great,
far from
yeah.
here, so it's down the street from the Costco here in South Etobicoke. You can check it out here. Okay, I'm gonna get to Paralyzer, but yeah, no, we're gonna do it right now because it's my show. I'll do what I want to do. Here we go.
I hold on so nervously to me and my drink. I wish it was cooling me, but so far has not been good. It's been shitty, and I feel awkward as I should. This club has got to be the most pretentious thing since I thought you and me. Well, I am imagining a dark-lit place, or your place, or my place. Well, I'm not paralyzed, but I seem to be struck by you. I wanna make you move, because you're standing still. If your body matches what your eyes can do, you'll probably move right through me on my way to you.
I'll have you know because I think we were going to do this last week and then we postponed this. So I was all prepped, and this song is an earworm in that it sort of just stays bouncing around your head. This thing's very hooky, very hooky. Okay, so tell me how your biggest U.S. hit came to be, because this one went to number 6 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 back in November 2007. How did Paralyzer come to be?
Oh yeah, this is a good one. So we had our friend Chris. He was taking a class in photography, and so he asked if he could come up to our rehearsal space and take some pictures. So we're like, oh yeah, next week we're going to be jamming on, I don't know, Tuesday or something like that. So we went up that morning and we started jamming, and it was garbage. Like, it was just not happening. Nobody was feeling it. And on a rare occasion, we were like, let's just pull the plug. This sucks today. Let's get out of here. So we packed up all the gear. We loaded up the car. And as we were pulling out of the driveway, Chris pulled up and he was like, where are you guys going? I thought we were good. Like, ah. So we unloaded the car, brought the stuff back up into the rehearsal room, and he set up his camera. And we're posing for some pictures. And we're like, this feels awkward. Why don't we just, like, let's make something up. So it looks like we're actually playing when he's taking the pictures. And so we made up this.
Jeez. Is that a true story, Scott?
So I wasn't there, so I'll never know. But on that day, I'm pretty sure it's true.
I don't know.
So
they
Bring
sent
out the lie detector test.
they
So-
sent me the file.
well, we
Sorry.
almost left, and Rick was like, "Oh, we should just record it quick because it's kind of fun." And so we just recorded it super quick and sent it to Scott.
They sent it to me, and I'm like, "What in the rock disco?
Yeah,
what is
it's
what
very
is going
dancey.
on?
It's
What is
very-
this?" Right. So that's the headspace, and I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna write about how uncomfortable I would be in a place, like this sounds like some sort of place that's too cool for me to exist in." And so that's my hook. That's what I'll write about. And it wasn't long. I think Paralyzer took a couple hours to write,
Yeah,
and that was
quick.
that.
And it
Because it
almost
took 10
wasn't.
years to write the
Well,
news stuff.
who's counting?
But yeah, it almost wasn't a song. It was really just fucking around.
Okay, so you already have one thing under your belt. So, Americans are like, oh, we know this band. We've heard this thing. And then Paralyzer, the bigger hit. Again, I don't know. I was just looking where this one shows up. Gossip Girl, Victoria's Secret fashion show.
yeah.
Paralyzer's on that. Because it's got the rock part, the Finger 11 rockiness, but it's also got a dancey, hooky, it's really kind of a blend.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you mentioned it before about if you know something's a hit or not. I did feel like this one had something, and I remember having a bit of a fight with the label about it, where it's like they weren't sure where to go as far as a single went, and I thought, well, like I'm no way an R guy, but dude, come on.
I feel like the band. Is there a reason why bands don't typically get to pick their singles? Is it because
I think a lot of bands don't know what they have. I think and that you're too close to it, and for whatever reason, I think that's probably true. But I think in this instance, it's like, come on, if you don't know what to do with this, I mean,
Well, yeah, it takes the outside listener. It's an alchemy, right? Of like you have the song, but then the person that's not in the band has to. And Paralyzer was one of those, like when you played it for friends, they'd say, "I want to hear that again right away." And like,
stuck in their head for
they don't do that
weeks.
for all the songs.
Right. So, in number one in Canada, of course, this was in the rock charts in the US. It went to number one as well. So, Paralyzer. So now that you've got one thing under your belt, Paralyzer. By the way, this is the album Them versus You versus Me. Who named that album?
Me.
Shame on you. Just kidding. just kidding. Okay, but that's your fifth studio album. So and I just want to tie something together here, and then I see if I can nail the 1 hour I promise. But you mentioned Chris was taking pictures. Okay, then I realized your song One Thing. One thing is to Finger 11 as take a picture is to filter.
Oh, okay.
There were, I'm not to disparage any soccer moms, lovely people. I'm married to one here now, but there were soccer moms who probably bought the CD because they like take a picture, and then their brains exploded.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It's a heavy
Yeah.
band.
This is not like the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, so I feel like one thing brings you into Finger 11. You go, let me hear some more Finger 11. Boom.
Yeah.
You're a hard band.
Yeah, there's probably that.
Which
We
is
should
nothing
have
wrong
thought
with
of
that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay. All right. So, honestly, fantastic that I took every second of I actually cannot say goodbye to you guys until I finish the question from Brandon. And I got this question from Brandon, and I hope you understand it because I kind of know where it's going, but I'm going to just ask it verbatim. But he says, ask Finger 11. He actually put in quotes what I'm supposed to say, so I'm going to read what Brandon scripted for me. He's a diehard listener of Toronto Mike. He says, I have to say, if I mention a talk radio duo named the Mott's, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, for sure. They were on like AM radio.
Yeah, the Mott's were on 1010.
Yeah.
Okay, because he goes on to say, when I was fairly new to the city, that's Toronto, News Talk 1010 would run this promo for seemingly a year or so for the Mott's, with Finger 11 bursting into the Mott's studio at Yonge and St. Clair at the time. And he assumes, so he's sharing this very long memory of you guys and the Mott's. So you know the Mott's. You know of the Mott's. So you have any memory of bursting into their studio? They used this as a promo for a very long time.
Okay. So we were at some radio station doing promo, and then and then the Mott's were recording their show in the same building.
Oh, CKTB.
Okay. So I was like, whoa, that's the Mott's. Like the van that we were touring in and getting around, it only had AM radio in it. And so we would listen to it. We knew that show. So whoever was, showing us around the studio. They were like, well, you want to go in and say hi? And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, but that's cool. He's like, no, come on, go in and say hi. And they threw us right into the studio in front of a mic, and we literally said hi on the air. That's my memory of it. I had no idea they were... that was a promo for a year. I have no idea what we might have said.
It's not every day Finger 11 bursts in and
but I will say,
surprises you.
right, but I was very starstruck. I was like, you're that voice. Like,
Yeah.
you're the voice in the van.
Yeah, it's a husband and wife. They live in
Yes.
Erin, Ontario. I think they have horses or something. Fun fact, when they had a podcast for a while, the Motts, and I was their technical advisor on like how do you take a piece of audio and make it a podcast, and I would help Carol and Paul, I believe is his name, Mott, with their podcast.
Awesome.
Wow.
So we're all connected.
Small
The
world.
Motts
So cool.
here. Although I did try to get the Motts on Toronto Mic, and they politely declined. So I don't know what
Come
that's
on.
about. Okay, so
Maybe they'll
let's-
say
Maybe
yes
they'll
now.
burst in right now.
Let me. Oh, can you imagine? That would be my promo for the next 10 years. The Motts coming and crashing the Finger 11 episode. That's too perfect here. So on our way out here, you guys have been absolutely awesome. You lived up to expectations. They say never meet your heroes. Well, I met Finger 11, and I have no regrets. Okay?
Thank
That
you.
can be the promo now. You can cut that out. Okay. Helloville writes in because we opened with Burlington talk. I like talking Burlington mainly because I become such a good friend of Rob Pruce, and he's always pumping the Burlington tires. But Helloville says, I'm curious what early Burlington bands they have memories of playing with or being inspired by. So he wants some shout outs to the Burlington music scene back then when
Okay.
you guys were coming up, because you did tease this, James, but you didn't name any of the,
Well, that's
you named a
right.
couple.
Yeah.
So
Gleet.
Gleet.
Turkey and the Barbertall beef eaters.
I was just going to say Turkey and the Barbertall beef eaters.
That name's worse than Rainbow Butt Monkeys.
Well, this is where we were coming from.
You had Nihility, right? They
That's
were
right.
like a great-
Icebone Lizard
Icebone
was
Lizard,
one.
sure.
Man,
Well,
it was a good scene. And like Turkey and the Barbertall beef eaters were, in a way, instrumental in me and Scott thinking we could do a band. Like in our music class, those three guys played a Metallica song, and we watched like, what?
Wow.
That guy lives up the street from me. He
Yeah.
could
And
have
this
a
is
band?
Lester B.
That's great.
Pearson High School.
Yes, it is. Yes, it was.
Okay,
Or
shout out to
maybe it was
Stone
Rolling Meadows.
Soul Mick
It was
Picnic.
no?
It was in Pearson, my son,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
That much I know. Shout out to Colonel Chunk.
Colonel Chunk, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff, man. Yeah.
All the best names
Missed
are
the
coming
scene.
out of Burlington.
Mechanical Hum.
Mechanical Hum. Well, it's,
That's a sexual reference, Mechanical
well,
Hum.
that's
okay.
That's Waterdown. So we're getting
Waterdown.
far afield here. But same with Colonel Chunk. Never mind.
The
Great
new
bands.
album is called Last Night on Earth. You can pick it up right now. And Adrenaline was the first single. I played the title track as well, Last Night on Earth. And you guys can catch, all you Toronto heads out there can catch Finger 11 on December 5th at the theater at Great Canadian Toronto. Rolls off the tongue. Whoever named that also
Yeah.
named Rainbow Butt Monkeys.
Also, we're with Tea Party and Headstones, just so you know.
That's right.
Now, that's amazing. Hugh Dillon was once booked on the show, and then his PR person took him off the show. But I had done all my homework and all my research, and I loaded up all my jams, and I'm still working on getting Hugh Dillon. So your homework, you gentlemen, is to tell Hugh Dillon he owes Toronto Mike to visit.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll,
Yeah.
We'll be sure to tell him that. Yes.
He's writing it down, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thanks so much. Enjoy your Moose mugs. Thank you to
Yeah,
Retro
thank you.
Festive. Enjoy your beer. Enjoy your measuring tape. Honestly, it was a pleasure. And did I leave anything that you wanted to shout out? Did I skip anything you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. I think we covered the.
We got to save something for the sequel, is what you're telling me.
That I would love that.
Oh,
It's great.
we're going to make it happen. And that brings us to the end of our 1,792nd show. By the way, this song, it's a cover of Rosie and Gray by Lois de Lalo from Shakespeare My Butt, but the cover is done by Rob Pruce of Spoons.
Oh.
So it's a Burlington
awesome.
jam, if you will. So there you go.
Okay.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,792nd show. Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. Much love to all who made this possible. That's Retro Festive, Great Lakes Brewery, Palma Pasta, Nick Iones. We just recorded an episode of Building Toronto Skyline with Jennifer McKelvey. She's an MP, and I think you guys will find it very interesting. It's all about affordable housing and getting things built in this in this country. Kindling, go to shopkindling.ca. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Blue Sky Agency and Ridley Funeral Home. Brad Jones is here in exactly 2 hours to record a new episode of his podcast, Life's Undertaking. So subscribe and enjoy that. See you all tomorrow, and my special guest is Ralph Benmergui. Did you guys ever play his show?
We never did, but I know the show. Wow. That's exciting.
Shout out to Ralph Benmergui. He's on the show tomorrow in the basement. See you all then.